Welcome one, welcome all, welcome to the Sporting Stream and to the start of Royalty Series Season 2 semi-finals. We've got an amazing match for you here tonight. We've got to take a look at our bracket to really bring into perspective what we have going. This is the semi-finals of the EU Premier Division, sponsored by Forward Syndicate. And we've got the second seed against the third seed, Wild Esports, BRV and Centurions. And of course, on the other side of the bracket, the Pinchman Blue taking on Sanity Esports. That is on the Royalty Series mainstream. If you want to go support the Royalty Series, go support them over on the mainstream for that match, and eventually for tonight, the Grand Finals, which will be right after this. But for us here, it's Wild Esports, BRV and Centurions in a best of 7 to determine who will win it all. We're coming down to this point of the season where only the best stand, and again, these are some of the highest seeds that have come out of that regular season, and they're staying as high seeds even as far as in this playoff bracket. Again, Wild Esports are the second seed, a 4-1 record, plus 10 game differential. BRV and 4-1, only 1 game behind and a plus 9 game differential. What I find so interesting about this one is that that 4-1 record for the Centurions, that one loss came as a result of week 1 against Wild Esports. So far, BRV and is on a 7-week win streak. My apologies, a 6-week win streak. Not a 7, it's a 6-week season. Again, it's quite impressive, but for the Wild Esports side, again, they had to suffer their loss. I believe they suffered it in week 4. Yeah, they did, to Hysteria Fatality, who came into this tournament undefeated, who obviously, as you guys have seen, didn't make it very far. They lost to the Pinchman Blue, who, again, are taking on Sanity Esports. But for us, again, this is a best of 7 matchup. As we'll get things sorted out very, very soon here. 1 second while we things sorted out here for all of you. And we got quite a match for all of you here tonight. Thank you as well for the follow there. Phil, thank you so much, Phil. Good luck in your match, by the way, Phil. As again, we get things hopefully underway in just a few minutes. I accidentally made the wrong server, so we're gonna quickly fix that here as well. Again, it should be a extremely fun matchup here tonight. I mean, with the teams that we're getting, with the matches that we have at this point, these are going to be some very close matchups. So again, we're going to quickly get things started here. Again, we'll get these teams in just a moment. We're going to be a bit late on getting things underway, but is that a real surprise on this stream? I don't think that's a surprise. I don't blame these teams as well. I have no problem. We're not in any rush for this match. I just want to make sure we have good Rocket League here for this best of 7, and if that means a few minutes delayed, that means a few minutes late, but while you have those few minutes, you guys can get your votes in. Prediction poll is live, so get your points up on who you think will take this one. Wild Esports or BRV and Centurions. Again, BRV and this really because it's a combination of 2 different organizations. BRV Esports and Esports. BRV, I know for a fact, is a Scottish-based organization. But Enosha is an interesting one because they are currently the proclaimed kings of EU. I mean, when you talk about a team that has done that, Enosha won every single division last season. The season obviously a pretty tough one, but again, Enosha and BRV, who again themselves have worked together basically for all their teams. Again, they kind of have merged together. It's a weird one. It's a weird situation, but they kind of have merged together. It's an organization that has made it to top 4 in every single division so far. When you talk about the self-proclaimed kings of EU, you have to talk about Enosha, because this team are those kings right now. They have not been toppled. Let me make sure we get it up. Real quick, I'm gonna make sure we get the info actually to everybody who can see it, because we're having some real issues getting these players in the lobby. There we go. That should hopefully get these teams ready to go. Apologies on delays, we had some lobby issues. So while we get things up and running, again, we got a good amount of time here. Again, reminder, if you want to watch the Royalty Series mainstream Royalty Series on Twitch, Royalty Series, RUOYALTYSERIES. Again, they've got the pitch been blue taking on NTIA ESPORTS. The winner of that, we play against the winner of this in the grand finals. It's single elimination, so this is it. That's the top four. Doesn't get much scarier than this. As for Wild, bringing in THK, Dokshi, and Phil. Brave Enosha bringing in Basu, Cubby, and Wix. Also interesting, Mick Twisted, aka the coach of Wild Esports, also here, but he also goes by the name of Sleepy Kushia Bashir. I can't say that name. Sleepy, I guess, is what I'll call him. In the lobby as well. That's their coach. So, pretty important. That coach is going to be a big aspect for Wild Esports. I mean, it's a big roster, so make sure that everybody's on the same page. You gotta have someone who can kind of put them all together. That, and Sleepy has done exactly that. As we're gonna get these teams in, they've joined the lobby, and they're ready to get things underway. Reminder, it's a best-of-7 series in the EU Premier Division, sponsored by Forward Syndicate Royalty Series Season 2. Looking to proclaim yet another champion. This is it, the best of the European divisions. And here they go. One best-of-7. Wild Esports on the blue, Brave Enosha Centurions on the orange. And we'll see how that Brave Enosha teamwork works here. This org again, this Enosha team, proclaiming themselves the kings of Europe in the Royalty Series. Looking to make sure they keep staking that claim even into Season 2 as THK unable to get very far. Dokshi challenged by Cubby. And, well, video, something that you're going to notice about this EU division is just how fast-paced everybody wants to be. It's always moving at 100, at 100, moving as fast as you can. One of the biggest things that I always notice in this division is always, how do teams take advantage of that? Because everybody wants to play fast. Everybody wants to be in each other's face. They take advantage of a playstyle like that because there are weaknesses to playing that high up, to playing that aggressively. So often teams like this, who want to play fast, also are willing to overcommit a little bit more. And at my time watching European action, Europe does have a tendency to overcommit. But that pace was also a big deal for them because Europe's also one of the better regions when it comes to getting good recoveries. And I would also consider it one of the more selfless regions I see, because this is not a region that's based on those mechanics, not as much as North America. It's about being able to have the best team, to make sure that players work together. As Wild Esports right now trying to get that offense going. They'll look midfield. Dokshi finds THK. Phil already up for it. As Brave Enosha waiting in the back lines. Basu does pinch this one out. He's pummeling his way through. That shot, though, kept away by Dokshi. And Brave Enosha still searching for that first chance. But they'll slow this one down just a little bit. And now they go back to defense to commit. It's an open chance. And Wild Esports have taken the first strike. And that's what I mean. It's so easy to overcommit, to double commit like that when you're trying to play as fast as you are. Brave Enosha caught out. Wild Esports has taken goal 1. This action far from over. As Dokshi now gonna get into the bump. Wild Esports have that first goal, but they're not going to give up just that easily on holding a 1-goal lead. I mean, this is game 1. This is where you really need to make it known who you are and what you play for. Well, this is not a very big organization either. Every game that this team plays, every win they get is a huge boost. Again, this is the 2nd seed coming into this final bracket. They've had a good regular season, but as we've seen, good regular seasons don't always predict how your playoff runs are going to go. Obviously for Wild and Brave Inosha it has. They're the second and third seeds respectively, but the pressure's on them! Oh, that shot was just wide. It hit off the post. And Wild Esports quick to clear it back. Inosha, Brave Inosha, fighting through! Oh, but they've overcommitted again! And an opening left, THK will strike through. And Wild Esports have doubled their lead. A panic flip from Wix. And he just played a little bit more patiently, had he taken a little bit more time on that ball. Surely he would have been able to prevent that shot from happening. Instead, he tries to rush things, and it just don't work, but it's a follow-up shot! And Basu with the first for the Centurions. That's a beautiful dribble from the back wall from Cubby. He does not leave that takeoff with anything to be desired. That's the first for the Centurions. Well, Esports go with that 1-goal lead. Right now, we're seeing the biggest issue for the Centurions right now is just that they are trying to rush this play a little too much for themselves. I don't mind the idea of playing fast, but so many times in Europe you can get caught playing fast just to play fast, not to catch out your opponents, not to find each other. Something that these teams got to be very careful about is that you don't want to just play fast. You got to be able to play smart as well. Smart play beats fast play every single time. Right now for all these, but you can tell they're trying to slow things down. They have a 1-goal lead. They don't need another goal as Wick stopped by Phil. A follow-up shot for Cubby. Back post and in. THK over pushed that nut. And it's Cubby with a pinpoint shot to the back post. And this level players are not missing those opportunities. And for THK, it's unfortunate because there's not really much he can do. If he sits in the back post, that front post is open. He has to push to the middle of the net. He doesn't have much of an option. But that shot was beautifully placed. And the game is tied. The Centurions, again, just letting the shooting do the talking for them. You don't need that many chances on offense to win a game. Just to make sure that those chances are taken. As well, Esports yet again going back. Cubby takes the lead! And the Centurions catch them out again on these 1v1 plays. They're always beating them here for the Centurions. And yet again, just a little bit faster in the offense. The Centurions, after having a very awkward start, have pulled this one back. And with less than a minute to go, a confidence-boosting start for the Brave Inosha Centurions here in Game 1. Basu, yet another one, saved away by THK. And he was waiting in front of that net as well. Wow, Esports, maybe you're trembling a little bit more there, but ball cleared out as Phil pinches it back in. Basu, oh, he's whiffed on it completely here. Dokshi opening in the backfield. Rex keeps it out. Up goes Phil. He'll have a free shot for it. But not enough power. Cubby waits his turn patiently. As now THK to Phil to the back of the net. Wild Esports have gone mad. And on a 2v1, THK and Phil connect. And there's no one that can stop them. 11 seconds to go. And Wild Esports with a clutch strike. But Brave Inosha look to let this one end in regulation. Basu cleared back by Phil. And Wild Esports at this point might be playing just for overtime. They'll get it. In Game 1 alone. A fast-moving start. And I don't think it's slowing down anytime soon. Cubby and Brave Inosha again gonna be that faster team in the offense. But they better be careful not to let anything get through them. Wix. That flick straight to Phil. But it goes Basu. High touch. Cubby to the back wall. He hit it very wide. That's going to leave his team in disarray. They're ready to follow up on a chance to shoot on, but that touch just doesn't going to help them as Basu now. He better get up for that. The shot's just wide from Dokshi. That could have been it. Basu never even saw that one coming. He'd be very thankful that Doshi didn't score there because Doshi had an easy opening, and now a breakdown! Brave and Nosha take game 1! It was a missed touch in the midfield, an overcommit for Wild Esports, and it's Brave and Nosha with an open net the other way, 52nd overtime, but Brave and Nosha, who didn't start very well in that game 1, have brought it back. An exhilarating start to this series. An overtime already. We're in for a treat here, if this is what our first game is going to be like. Brave and Nosha may have taken it, but I mean, what we saw from Wild, it was just a weaker end. They weren't ready for the Brave and Nosha team to pick up that pace so immediately. It really felt like Brave and Nosha was a slower team for that first half of the game, but by the time the second half game, they immediately turned up the pace. I mean, that pressure they brought, that was quite impressive. The orange side here, the 3rd seed in this tournament, off to a good start. An overtime win, but every win matters, especially when it comes to these first couple games, because my goodness, these games can often be the ones that decide the series. And all these teams set up for game 2 while Sleepy talks to his Wild Esports side. Again, they got a coach. He's in the lobby, so Wild Esports are going to be listening to him, Sleepy, very, very intuitively, because whatever he says is probably going to be important for them. They didn't have a great starting. They didn't have a great ending to game 1. They just were caught off guard by Brave and Nosha. Now they know this Brave and Nosha team can outpace them. They've got to be able to respond in time. It may not always have to be with the faster play. Just you gotta find something to slow this team down. That shot nearly did it. Doshi to the back wall. Second touch saved by Wix. And right now, Brave and Nosha running on very low boost. I'm not finding too many issues here as Cubby bumped out. Wix now challenged by Phil. Cubby again, low boost, sending it upfield for Basu. But only off to the back wall. Brave and Nosha waiting, open a team bump! It's an open net for Basu. And a gift for Brave and Nosha. They were not expecting that to happen. It was Phil who didn't exactly make the great first touch, but himself and Doshi both going for the same ball, ran right into each other. And the lead right now in favor of Brave and Nosha. They're looking for a second one as well. Phil doesn't get a very good touch on it. Cubby now. Gonna get up over THK, but it'll instead be midfield. Basu missed on it completely. Would have been a great chance to get a second goal. Instead, Brave and Nosha waiting back as Cubby again. Flip reset. Cubby. Great touch there. Will set up Wix. THK. Very low boost for Wild Esports right now, and Brave and Nosha looking for that infield passing option. You can tell every single time they're going for these solo plays, they're not really expecting themselves to score. They're more so just trying to force this Wild Esports team back so they can set up an infield pass, get those opportunities that way. Right now, they're not really connecting. Wild Esports are right now keeping up with them here as Basu. You saw THK go up early for that. Forced them to make that pass, but Brave and Nosha will have to retract their statement. They're back on defense again, but not for too long as Wix looked upfield. Cubby not able to get very much past Phil as THK not able to get there first. And Brave and Nosha again playing with pace. No one jumping for this one. Basu's shot goes wide of the net. As Phil will clear. Basu to the back corner. Wix. THK's whiffed it! Oh, it was not a very strong shot from Wix. But it goes in nonetheless. And it's Brave and Nosha Centurions who, once they get to offense, just cannot seem to lose it. There was a whiff on the back wall. Wow, these Esports will want that one back, because that was very much savable. It was not a great shot from Wix, admittedly. And now that the 2 goes down, Wild Esports gonna have to turn things around some way as Basu doesn't even get a second touch on that. Dokshi cuts in! And Wild Esports is taking advantage of that play from Brave Venosha. Basu trying to get a little too cute with it. Going for that Psycho. And Wild Esports weren't going to let him have any of that. And now they've cut that lead in half. As Phil now challenging in early on Wix. Wild Esports trying to set up offense early. Dokshi whiffs on it completely, but Phil... Dokshi potentially could have gotten to that again had he jumped up immediately for it. And instead they're going to wait in the midfield, but not for too long! Saved by Cubby! Wix cuts in to keep away a second shot, and now he's going to dunk! Cubby in! 3-1 for Brave Venosha! And it's a dunk in the midfield too! Wix never left the play! And Cubby right behind him. It was a very aggressive challenge, but it works for the Centurions. Now, Wild Esports once again 2 goals down. Oh, but another mistake! Dokshi scores again. This time even more immediate right off the kickoff. As Basu bumps Cubby out of the way. Cubby had more boost there. And the Wild Esports side, they're finding goals. I don't know if they're very pretty, but they're finding goals nonetheless. They're keeping it close. They're still 1 away from tying this thing up. They've not been able to tie this thing. Haven't really been able to bring much offense to this either. As Dokshi to THK. Boss, you better be careful. He's been demoed out. The net's wide open. And THK will take the chance. Basu, the only one back. He did not feel the pressure from Dokshi. And it is now 3 each. Phil cutting across for Dokshi. He'll go back the other way, but he has to chase this up himself. He did not notice there was nobody back for his team. Now Cubby, 1-on-1. Saved by Phil as the quick attack will fizzle out. Now THK. Wix. Phil. Shot save. Phil again. Gonna find THK, but without any boost. Just doesn't have an angle to shoot there. Wow, these Esports aren't giving up. Still on offense. That touch, not very well made. Shot in! THK for point blank range. And Wild Esports with 2 goals straight, the lead is theirs. In fact, not even just 2 goals straight, but 3 goals straight. And with 45 seconds left, the Centurions are the ones losing. Phil. THK now. THK still, he nearly had that chance too, but Basu clears it out. And you can tell Phil, he's waiting all the way back on that goal line. He's not letting anything through. Oh, but he does lose this one. Cubby keeps it high. Wix on! Oh, what a block for Dokshi! And the Centurions try again. That one's gonna be high the net. Wix now. Out to Cubby. Shots weak, saved by Dokshi. And he'll clear it away. Basu now, maybe one more chance. Cubby to Basu. Wix not in the same line there. It's gonna be pinched all the way back. And game 2 will end. Wild Esports have taken the game here, and the series is all tied up. 2 games so far, and both going either way with a 1-goal difference. A close battle, to say the very least. There's still more action to come. The Centurions were caught napping by the end of that game. Having done so, I'm going to feel a little bit ashamed because they had 2 chances with 2-goal leads and they lost both of them. Not a great storyline going into this 3rd game. Wow, these sports, credit where the credit's due. That tenacity that they bring was unimaginably impressive. You just don't see teams do that very often. It's really tough to rebound after having such a tough game 1 and having such a rough start to game 2. What we're seeing is that whoever starts off these games well often isn't the one to end things out. As well, ESPORTS we're going to keep that momentum going. Oh, but a team bump! That net is open! And well, ESPORTS once again catching themselves in the same position as each other. I'm surprised BRV didn't take that one. They must not have noticed it. They still have another chance here, but it will be sent away by Phil. And now an infield pass. That shot's going to be a bit too weak, but another double commit for Wild. 2 players running into each other. That shot, it's a pass! Oh, and Basu's got it! And BRV with a selfless act. And that's what I mean about this European region so often. They're not going to take those shots unless there's a better one in store. And BRV have taken the lead early. Basu. Dokshi. Phil from the sidelines. Phil still, but he can't get that pop. Will instead go for Basu. But Cubby, Wicks waiting in the midfield. The pass, the connection, and the 2nd goal for the Centurions. It was THK who was the only one waiting on that sidewall. He needed to delay there. Instead, he rushed the challenge. And with no one behind him, it gave just enough time for the Centurions to link up and score. Wow, ESPORTS. A disappointing start, but as we said already, often the team that starts these games well is not the one that ends them. We've seen Wild ESPORTS make these kind of comebacks. We saw them make a 2-goal comeback last game. Oh, but what about 3 goals? Basu's trying to make it that way. Wild ESPORTS will keep that out on the goal line as Phil still jumping in his Wicks as Cubby won't be able to find that tight angle. Now let's get the demo on Dokshi and BRV waiting patiently as that's cleared away by Phil. Cubby now. Flip reset, uses it immediately, and wow, ESPORTS now have a chance to go the other way. Basu, no one behind him, it's Phil, but he's been removed by Cubby. And the Centurions are just waiting. THK. Phil, oh what a pinch! 2 jump, the ball's kept out for now. THK goes again, but he misses the boost, and he won't get another chance at it. It was an insane ceiling pinch there. Oh, these boys trying for something new. Trying to really utilize those mechanics. We, again, don't often see the mechanical plays come out in Europe in this European level. But I mean, these players are good enough to do that kind of stuff. You just won't get to see a lot of it. Again, Europe as a region likes to utilize other players. You're going to see a lot more passing, a lot more teamwork. As BRV looking for number 3. And so far, both their goals have come from passes. Dokshi! Oh, he's just missed it. Wow, ESPORTS closing on at least getting 1 goal back. THK saved by Basu off the front post. And the Centurions will charge forth once again. THK not getting far with that one. Dokshi clears. Phil forcing out Cubby. Now Wild ESPORTS will go again, but Wicks already with the challenge, and he's got a second touch on this. Phil has to jump immediately for it, but it's only as far as Cubby, to Basu, to the net, and it's a 3rd goal of the game. And again, it comes to the pass. It's so easy there. Cubby could have shot that one. But he's got a better option midfield. He goes for it. The Centurions not letting any of their options go to waste. These passes are absolutely catching Wild Esports. The Centurions not happy with how Game 2 went. Hoping that this can be their answer. There's Dokshi, who touches it away. Already up by 3 goals. The Centurions have got to feel pretty good. They're going to add another one here. Bossio's got his hat trick, and it's a 4-0 lead. As the Centurions yet again off of a pass. And at this point, it feels like this game has already been decided. Centurions bringing their rage into this game. And obviously it's made quite the difference as touch off the back wall, Cubby. In goes Basu, but at this point for the Centurions, just playing for time. They've got game 3 controlled. What's really going to be interesting is how Wild Esports responds for game 4. Back and forth Rocket League action, not uncommon in best of 7s, but it is not an easy game style to play. They will get this chance. They won't be able to score it past Wicks. And as the time slows down, as the seconds tick away, Brave and Nosha will take the lead in the series once again. But unlike how they did it in Game 1, this one, much more decided. A 4-0 scoreline. And the Centurions are playing sky high, playing with confidence. And those passes are not missing. Brave Esports, or Wild Esports, my apologies. How are they going to respond in Game 4? Are they even going to respond in Game 4? Because this Centurion side wants every opportunity they can get. Fortunately for Wild Esports, reminder, they are the team in this match that have a coach. What will they say to them? What is the option that this team wants to go for? They've got a lot of time to think, but they don't have a lot of time to turn things around. In between Game 3 and Game 4, and the Centurions in the lead in this series. Wild Esports, what options are they going with? What are their decisions? A long match. It's a long road just to go to the grand finals. But what are they going to do to respond? This game, very different than what we've seen before for Wild. It just feels like they're getting outpaced more and more every single game. They cannot let Brave and Osha take control of the series. Brave and Osha, do they have any more games that they can take here? Does Wild Esports have the answer? So many questions, and we may not answer all of them. The biggest one is going to be how does Wild Esports answer to that game? What do they do to adjust? It's a best of 7, they have time to do it. But time is fleeting in a series like this. Brave and Osha now, only 1 win away from match point. And you do not want to let this team have it early. Wild need an opening very soon. They're gonna get it! A thunderous touch from THK. And Wild Esports with a powerful start. And the Centurions, I mean, this is their This is how they want to play. This is not how they want to play. This is not how they want to start, but this is the kind of series they want to play in, though. One where it's close, one where their pace is going to be their advantage. All esports. I've got to just outsmart them on that play, and right now they might be doing so. Phil's shot, though, will go wide of Basu. THK. 15 out here as the Centurions once again using that pace to their advantage. Cubby, Wicks. No one there, though. He's just completely giving it away to Wild. They're going to go to a 1-2-1. It's kept up very, very quickly here. And again, I said this is the way the Centurions want to play. They may be down, but they can use that pace. Well, esports aren't faster than them right now. And stuff like that, speed of the play, not something that you can easily beat another team with. But Dokshi's got it! Saved by Wicks, still open, and Dokshi's gonna put it in! And for how fast the Centurions are playing, they're not getting much offense out of it. A lot of plays left right in front of their net. And that's where Wild Esports come into this one. Still not done with this, though. Wild won another. They may be up by 2, but they saw from last game the Centurions won by 4. Wild want to be able to prove that they can do that just as well. This ball cleared back. THK. Saved by Cubby. Dokshi now. Sent away by Basu. And he's going to forget the fake! Oh, what a shot! Saved by THK. The Centurions starting to get a little bit more fancy with it. It's a very well-executed fake. We have not seen that many ground-based plays here in this series so far. And VVs, it's so tough to get that kind of room. I mean, once you get to the ball, you're going to be challenged. And at this level, even more so, with just how fast everybody wants to play at it. Being able to get those chances, not very often, but if you can excel on the ground, you can really utilize that when the opportunities do come your way. As Wicks now deflected high by THK, as Dokshi was waiting a little ahead of that goal line. Had it playing on off the back wall, he would not have been able to get a touch on it. That's why you got players like THK who are covering that angle. As now Phil beat on the goal line. Basu, Cubby, should be, will be. The Centurions have struck back. And with great control, with great precision, it's the same thing that we've seen before from the Centurions. When they get opportunities to pass, they will use it. And it's been that passing that we saw from last game that got them that 4-0 lead. Every single goal was assisted. And I don't think they're changing that plan anytime soon because it works. Missed there! Oh, it's going to be a goal for Basu. It was a pass from Cubby, but let's not beat around the bush here. That should not have gone through. Phil with a huge whiff on the back line. And when you do that, there's not really many other options out of it. And Wicks now. Trying to march forward. Cubby takes the lead. And the Centurions starting to outpace Wild Esports even more. Just look at that touch from Basu. Nobody from Wild saw that. He was rotating back initially. When he saw the ball go straight to him, he saw, wait a second, I've got an option in the midfield, and he took it. Wild Esports again, completely caught off guard. They're not ready. Not only for how fast this Centurions team is playing, but just how accurately they're making these passes. Not easy whenever a team is not only finding each other, but doing it with pace. Very tough to outplay that. As Centurions waiting back. Dokshi, Wicks, Cubby. Not a very good touch though in Wild Esports. Ready to put on the attack. Wicks again. Dokshi around the corner. But it's Basu. Gets the dunk on THK. A minute to go and the Wild Esports side cannot give up match point. And they're not going to do it easily either. Wicks, the back corner. Cubby leaves it for Wicks. only as far as Phil. Well, these sports have the ball again. Phil leaving it, but Cubby never bit on that for a second. And he'll go the other way. THK keeps it off the back wall. Wicks has whiffed it. And time and space for Wild. Dokshi bumped out by Basio, but Cubby now. Dokshi again, setting up THK. Saved away by Basio on the goal line. And well, these sports left stranded in the midfield as Brave and Osha Centurions will keep that ball away on offense. Cubby. That's a great touch off the back wall, wasting our precious seconds. Now, while these sports cannot get back, THK though, unable to get that clear. Dokshi will not keep this one alive as the Centurions want it grounded, but that touch is going to help them. Cupped up, whiffed on it. No one has it, and the Centurions will take match point. One win away from a spot in the grand finals. Brave and Nosha Centurions continue to pick up the pace. And we're going right back into this series immediately. Game 5 up next. And Brave and Osha now are one win away from a spot in the grand finals. One win away from at least a second place finish. They just need to win here. Game 5 on the Aquadome. And while these sports now are playing for their lives in this tournament, Phil needs to get them off to a good start here. They need to go early. Without that, while these sports are going to be treading water for the rest of this game. They've got to score. They've got to get themselves a lead early above the grain. As THK trying to get them started. Does from the bump on Cubby, but Basio waiting. And without anybody really helping him in the midfield, well, these sports left a bit stranded. He will go downfield again. Wicks doesn't have this one, but we'll take the clear instead. Dokshi geared out by Cubby as the Centurions do double commit on the back line. With that clear, having wasted a lot of time, they're going to have enough to reset and hopefully, for them at least, respond. That shot's going to go nowhere. Now Phil. Dokshi. No one back. And the Centurions kind of let that happen. It was just very awkward in the midfield. I mean, Cubby, I don't know why you left that play because he needed to get a touch on that. There's no one in net. Almost as if they ran away from the ball there. And all these sports, that's the first goal. That's the goal they needed. Centurions better go back quick here because you know the chance is brewing, although maybe not much of one. Basio to the back wall, saved by THK. And Centurions just trying to wait on under this one. Basio to Wicks, so that's completely whiffed on it. And now Dokshi demoed out. To go for the Centurions. As now another whiff. Basio again has space, one-on-one. Basio kept up by Dokshi. Now it's Wicks. Flip reset. Leaves it. Cubby not able to get it on target. And while these sports will get rid of that danger. As Phil cleared back by Wicks. The Centurions keeping up the pace. Wicks again. High flick. 2 go for Wild. Now it's Cubby, who's got open space. Still on it is Cubby. The dunk saved away as yet again 2 more commit for Wild. Infield pass. Basio off the crossbar. Oh, these sports are in the spin cycle right now. They better get out. They will. But that one's going to go wide. Still gets it up a shot for Dokshi. But it is easily kept out by Basio. And he'll go again to make sure it stays out. Centurions with ample opportunities to tie this game up. Feels like it's only a matter of time before they take one. And for Wild Esports, I would not want to be playing the waiting game with Brave Venosha Centurions. There's Dokshi. Phil trying to get a piece of this one. Bashu doesn't get very far, and Phil shots well wide. That could have been a second goal for Wild. Instead, it will be slinged out by the Centurions as Wix unable to keep offense here. Now it's Dokshi who will leave it behind. Bashu, Cubby upfield, still Bashu. And everybody upfield for the Centurions. They better get back and overcommit of the highest order. Wild Esports, with everybody backfield, they are not going to be able to counter very quickly. As Wix and Cubby both go. Phil. Cubby once again does find the dunk. As Phil keeps it upfield. Bashu now. Open space! Oh! It's wide! No follow-up made! The Centurions keep asking the questions. When will one go in? Dokshi keeps us out. Is that ball cleared away again? Cubby flicks it up for Wix. Bashu keeping things airborne as now in goes Cubby. It's wide open and he's whiffed it. Wix had an open net. There's no excuse for that one. It should be tied. Instead, Wix has missed it. And the Centurions need to find yet another chance. Bashu, Wix, drop down, saved by Phil. Wow, these sports, I don't know how they've kept that 1-goal lead. They have been struggling for most of this game. But through that struggle, they've somehow had the fortune of the Centurions not being able to score against them. And with time quickly running out, the Centurions may not get that many more opportunities. Wix's whiff is what's really going to sink this team here this game. Unless they can find something late. Bashu leaves it for Cubby. Wild Esports letting the Centurions maybe have one more chance. Bashu to the corner. Dokshi clears it back. And he'll look to see it if it hits the ground. Wix still has it though for Cubby. Oh, he's missed it completely. But it will be out for Bashu. Still Bashu. Dokshi not able to ground this one as Cubby follows through. Does find Wix, finding Bashu. The Centurions still making opportunities. Wix again, no boost left. This game is over. And game 6 guaranteed now. It was an open net whiff for Wix. There's no guarantees that will matter in this series, but you cannot make those mistakes. That may prove to be extremely costly. 5 games done. Brave Venosha still on match point reminder. But the pressure is very much on them now. I mean, they should have taken that game. Instead, again, they've missed their opportunity. You don't get those kind of plays back. Again, while we do wait on the results from that other match across the league in the Pinchman Blue and Sanity Esports. What a night it has been already. We go to game 6 to Neo Tokyo. And, well, for now, we'll see if Brave Venosha do have what it takes to win the series outright. Wow, these sports have brought a lot of pressure. And they're putting that pressure on the Centurions. This is game 6. Neo Tokyo. Another chance for the Centurions to win, but a huge opportunity for the Wild Esports to prove that last game was no fluke. It really felt fluky as well. How many opportunities the Centurions should have scored on. They're going to take this one, though, as a miss off the back wall. That's all the Centurions need to take the lead. And with, again, it only being a 5-minute game, with every goal, as impactful as it is right now, that goal may become the difference maker. Wild. THK. Phil now. Open chance. Bosio has been back for that, though. THK again. Wild Esports just trying to wait under this one, but the Centurions, again, quick, just get that ball out. They don't care if they have control or not. They just want this one gone. A 1-goal lead is good enough. They just can't let a goal go in against them. As THK, what a great touch. That is not an easy read. He was up very late for that, too. He really had to reach for it, but he gets enough on it. And that pass to Phil just kept out by Wicks. An immaculate block. I don't know how he had the time to react to that. But he gets just enough on it as now this one kept away. Phil, Wicks. Cubby. Phil's still the one waiting under this as Wild Esports trying to play patiently as THK, Wicks, across to Cubby, Dokshi, leaving it for Phil, and he's got past 1, 2, Phil, and it's in! An incredible strike at a beautiful time. Phil flashes through the Centurion defense, and Wild Esports are back in it. And now it's all tied up. It's anyone's game to take as Cubby again. Bashu. Phil, who's completely whiffed under this one. He tripped off his own post. No, you can see now he's going for Cubby just to get things going. And the Centurions trying to take their time, trying to slow things down. I mean, you can understand the pressure they're feeling. Game 7, very likely potential at this point. Something that the Centurions cannot afford to go to. Wild Esports fighting through the pain. Bashu, though. Bashu! Oh! And let this play speak for itself. Bashu to the upper right corner. He hit it wide, made it tough to reach, and he nailed the second touch. And the Centurions are back on top. Phil still has this one off the ceiling. He's not gonna let go. Gets the dunk on Bashu. And now in goes Dokshi! Nails it in, sneaks it by the front post. What really makes this work is that recovery from Phil. He got launched into the ceiling, but he never gave up on the play. Used it as a flip reset. And with all the boost he had, got the dunk, set up the offensive attack. And Wild Esports find the goal off of it. And they're not done yet. Another one for Wild. THK on the board. With that touch from Wicks, just not doing what he wanted. He wanted to leave it by the back wall and really by the corner. But he just doesn't get enough power on it. And now Wild Esports are back in the lead, and the goals are all falling through at this point. But the Brave Inosha side not done here. Cubby not able to find the pass. THK cuts it off. Wicks. Now he's airborne. He's got Cubby on the other side. That pass will connect, but the touch won't. And they'll go again now with Bashu all by himself. Doesn't have anyone really to work for. Oh, Esports quick to shut down that play. And now they got an open net. It's Dokshi, but it's cleared out by Cubby. And now he'll go for a solo effort. That's very high up. He's got space. But but he'll leave it for Bossio instead. And Centurions, right now, not afraid of the time, but they better start becoming more afraid of it. Only 60 seconds left here in Game 6. They're not the ones that, have match point against them, but they really don't want to go to Game 7. They had a 3-1 series lead, only going into Game number 5. They cannot afford to go to Game 7. Wicks. Pinch tie by Phil. Cubby, back to Wicks. And the Centurions, it's a great play! Wicks, Basu, going to net! And it's all tied up! Fighting their way through with everyone in that final third. The Centurions took advantage of the low boost that Wild Esports had. And now with half a minute to go, that next goal will probably be the one to win it. Dokshi, saved by Wicks. As THA goes airborne. And Wild Esports right now, once again low on boost. Dokshi, the only one who can go up for this one. 10 seconds remain. The Centurions, what a way to end it if they could get a goal here. But they gotta go the other way. THK to the back corner, leaving it midfield. That's just high from Phil. Dokshi keeping it airborne, but we've got overtime. And this goal is gonna matter. Oh, so much. If Wild Esports score, we've got Game 7. If the Centurions score, the series is over. They're going to the Grand Finals. Wicks. Bumped out. Dokshi. That touch goes nowhere. Cubby's got it, but he's left it to THK. Wicks doesn't have a lot on this one. He'll get just enough to keep it away from Phil. Now Dokshi's been caught out guard. Wicks again. THK 50'd off the post. And Wild Esports quick to collapse on that one. Basu leaving it. Phil will clear it out. And Wild Esports, once again, reminder, playing for their tournament lives. A loss here is it for them. Their season would be over. Cubby. Flip resets away. Wicks to the back corner. He can set up a play. Pass in field. Cleared back. And nobody there. Game 6 is over. We've got Game 7. The Centurions went all in for the goal to tie this game up. And they went for it again. This time it didn't work. And Wild Esports will send this series to one more battle. And while we're at it, an update from around the league. The Pinchmen Blue have just won their series 4-1. Champions Field awaits these two. Opportunities galore, but who's going to be the one to take it? Pressure's been on Brave and OSHA for a while now. It's only going to get worse. Champions Field, Game 7. The whole season on the line. You better believe this is a match worth watching. One game will determine a grand finalist. So often we talk about Champions Field as the place where the legends in the Rocket League scene are made. Who's going to be the one to perform under the lights of the game that no player wants to see? Cubby gonna get things going. Now it's Wicks who'll take his time, leave this to the sidewall. But removed by Dokshi. Wild Esports get it again. And THK with an interesting way to get us out. He'll go again for the offense. Phil helping him out. But Wild Esports have to retreat as with multiple players upfield, they don't want to risk anything. They're still gonna keep the offense though as Cubby will get that block. Dokshi. Again, Wicks Phil, once again, just using that corner, waiting. If any of his teammates are willing to take their chance in the midfield. But right now, they can't take those risks. What a pass! Basu! Phil covers up Wicks. And Wild Esports will send this one away, but not for long. Basu! Just wide. Wicks! That one! Save by THK! And Wild Esports will cut it out. A goal line stand with no boost. It's not the first time we've seen Wild Esports there. It almost certainly will not be the last. As now he'll leave it midfield for Wicks. Getting very close to that back wall. Cubby. Phil, who now has very little to work with. He'll get the boost in the corner. Still unable to challenge. Wicks. Dokshi is on it. And now with his space, he'll go the other way. But Cubby again! Is no one back? It's in! Cubby! With a deft touch, keeps it on the sidewall. And while Esports too slow to react, it is brave Venosha Centurions who score first. And now they'll go again. Wicks looking for a second. Unable to get that one through Dokshi. He's actually going to get a flip reset the other way and keep this ball out of Cubby's range. Now he'll get through Basu. And a miss there. THK is overcommitted. Will he get back? He will. Oh, what a block for THK. I thought he was outpaced there. And he still has it. That pinch, though. Off the post. Cubby tucks it in. And this time, THK will have no options. Another overcommit for Wild Esports. They're just not on the same page. And the Centurions catching Wild Esports under the pressure. They'll leave midfield. Dokshi. That pass just kept wide as Phil cut in early. Cubby again. Phil. What a great touch there that is, but not going to be too hard for the Centurions to work with. They've had 2 games straight to learn about Wild Esports. They better not lose a third with how much they have been able to gain. Now a 2-goal lead as well for the Centurions. Everything seems to be going their way, but as we said before, this is a place where Wild Esports have won before. And Dokshi looking to get things started. Off the back wall! That's just wide. Oh, it was a demo! Cleared away! As Basu keeps it going. Wild Esports will go again. Phil. Doing anything he can, but he's been tripped up by his own teammate here as DHK rushed into that touch. Don't get anything because of it. And no one even challenging the Centurions here. They're gonna walk in for a free shot. THK doesn't get that one cleared out either. And that's a free shot! Cubby's not missing from there. And again, THK, who's been called on for a couple times this game, has not been able to perform admirably. He's the team captain for Wild Esports, but this has not been a great game for him so far. And as we said before, the pressure so high at this point, and you can tell THK is feeling it. As he'll look midfield. But nothing made of that play as the pass just not in a great position for Wild to attack on. And they're still not able to get that ball. THK doing it outward. Can Phil get a piece of it? Waiting on the corner is Phil. Pumping out Basu, but Cubby waiting there, and with 2 players committing. Wild Esports once again sent back. Basu. Cubby. The Centurions are so close to taking this series. Dokshi again. And Wild Esports gets something. Phil left for Dokshi. But the Centurions are just waiting, beckoning Wild Esports to come after them. And they're keeping the ball away. That one's off the back wall. No one really able to challenge the Wild all that quickly. They will get the chance though, and Dokshi makes it work. 15 seconds left, though. Is it too little too late for Wild? Well, these sports are going to need a kickoff and then a good kickoff and then some. They'll get the start they need, though. Dokshi has to score here. One-on-one. Wicks keeps it out. And with no more chances for Wild, that's it. It's over. The Centurions will move on to the grand finals. They went all the way to Game 7, but the Centurions, after having so many struggles, have clutched up when they needed to. Wild Esports aren't eliminated. Their run is now over. For a team of their caliber, they may not be exactly happy with that performance. It went down to the wire. It went down to Game 7. But again, credit where credit's due. The Centurions came in with a game plan. And initially, I didn't know if that pace was going to work so well for them, but they played fast, and that passing was beautiful. Centurions have taken a huge victory, and again, they go into the grand finals to play against the Pinchman Blue. I mean, we're just getting some of the best action out there, but for all of you, that grand final is going to be starting very, very soon. We're going to be raiding over to the World Series mainstream, but thank you all so much for joining. Here's to all of you who did show up, and good luck to the Centurions in the grand finals of Brave Venosha. But for all of you, thank you so much for joining. Have a great rest of your evening.